what? It's Friday. It's the day after AU Day, and I know most of you were just feeling somewhere going back to work, but hey, we can't help it. It is a Friday and we need to finish hard. You're welcome to today's edition of Let's Talk Entertainment, and it's right here on JoyNews on Multi TV. Well, I'm sure for most of you, you've probably seen something or heard something, but today we get to hear about more important things from Kumawood actor Acrobat. Yes, he talks about the movie industry, and yeah, he has some interesting things to share with us. Of course, Grams Morgan talks about Ganja. You want to know what he talks about? I'll tell you more right here on Let's Talk Entertainment. And most importantly, Katy Perry talks about her feud with Taylor Swift. I am Doreen, and this is Let's Talk Entertainment. This is Let's Talk Entertainment Friday edition if you just joined us. And yes, we started with Acrobat. Well, the late the late Nkomode will call him Gwangarabeto. Yes, that's the name. But hey, he was the guest on Joy FM's personality profile, and he said so much about himself. But you know, he talked about being an MP. He says if anyone should call on him to be an MP, he will get the person arrested. Yes,
I will call for the arrest of anyone who calls me to stand for an MP. I am very content with what God has given me. Look, even when I'm walking the streets, these MPs, the president, anybody wants to see me because of my fame. Why would I bother myself about being an MP? The position of an MP is hectic and makes you restless. I'm very much content with what I have.
Don't go there. I'm civilian. I like it. That's all.
So that was Acrobat on being an MP. But hey, moving away from that, guess what? I'm sure you've heard this over and over and over again that some actors or actresses trade sex for movie roles. Well, Acrobat says it's untrue. For Kumawood, he says there's nothing like that. For them, it's all about professionalism.
It's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true.
At all.
At all. It's not true. Nobody is doing that. It's not true. But I know this rumors came out. But I don't know where it come from. It's not true. But let me tell you something. I'm talking about general. Even Ghana here, Ghana here, I can say 80% of the people, if a lady is going for a job, by all means, the person in charge, if he's a man, most of them will tell you I love you, or I'll make a love affair with you before I'll take you.
So it's everywhere.
Everywhere, everywhere. And you are talking to, you know what I'm saying. It's everywhere. If a lady will come here that he wants a job, you are this guy, you are sitting there. You can tell him, oh, I love you. Isn't it? Eh?
All right, so there you go, Acrobat there. So if you hear that story anywhere, then you should know that Acrobat says it is untrue. Now, moving on, Panafest Ambassador Grams Morgan has something to say about Ganja. Now, there's this perception that when you see any dreadlocked or someone who is into reggae and dancehall music, then of course that person has an association with Ganja. Well, Panafest Ambassador Grams Morgan says that is absolutely false. He says that you can even see someone who carries dreadlocks but has nothing to do with Ganja, and it's always from the heart. He also talked about the fact that if you see Ganja, you should think about medicinal purposes rather than just smoking it. He said this after the launch of Panafest.
It's going to take work and awareness, because I think a lot of it is peer pressure too, you know. Some of them are being pressured, or they're being caught up in the stereotype that, you know, people see an image of a reggae artist smoking, you know, and they're like, oh yeah, that's cool. It's foolishness. If you drink Pepsi and the other guy drinks alcohol, that's his desire. That's why we say you don't have to dread to be Rasta, because to be a Rasta, the first thing you have to do is have love in your heart. That's Rasta. It's not a religious movement, because if you want to talk about the religious part of being a Rastafarian, you're a Christian by the way of Ethiopia. Because Emperor Haile Selassie was crowned as a Christian king over a Christian nation, which is Ethiopia. This is not a secret, these are facts. But people get caught up in so much of the hype, and they think you have to have on a red, gold, and green here, and then dreadlocks. And I know Rastafarians that don't have dreadlocks, growing up in the 12th tribe of Israel, which is a Rastafarian organization. So it's just going to take some awareness. The doctrine of Christianity is only but over a little bit of 2,000 years old. You know, we're not talking about going back to Moses or Adam and Eve. Let's just start with Christ, the birth, the life, and the resurrection of Christ. And still, there's so many different denominations of Christianity. It's so, everybody has their own ideology of that thing. So when it comes to the music, which is reggae and dancehall, they just need to be free and say, you can do dancehall and DJ and sing positive lyrics about women, and you don't have to sing gun lyrics, or you have to be a gangster. Everybody's a gangster. Like, nobody want to have sex, or nobody want to go with their friend. Just everybody bad. Everybody bad? Come on, everybody couldn't be that bad. Other than that, go and join the military because they need help, and defend righteousness. So it's not about really people not knowing. They know, but I think there's a certain amount of pressure that comes with, you know, the hype of trying to act like. But my brother Peter doesn't smoke either. But I've been high many times in the spirit. A lot of times that even when I come off stage, I have to just take off my clothes and sit in my underwear and just decompress. And I'm talking many times that nobody even couldn't touch me. It was like electricity was coming out of my body, because we give the passion in the music. So you don't have to smoke ganja to do reggae, or when you do reggae, smoke ganja. That's peer pressure.
That was Panafest Ambassador Grams Morgan. So hey, it's not always about ganja, smoking it, or what it does, but hey, that's the other aspect of it from Grams Morgan. Now moving on to some international stories. James Corden had a ride with singer Katy Perry, and guess what they talked about? They had a bit of laughs, did the music bit, but they talked about Katy Perry's feud with Taylor Swift, and she actually narrated what happened, and she's hopeful that if Taylor Swift should send a text message to say that, yo, let's quash everything, then I guess they can let it go. James Corden wants to follow up on it. I'm sure whatever happens, we'll get updates on that.
Swish, swish, bish. Another one in
and go! Now, I want to talk to you about some famous beef. Because there's Taylor beef.
Well, there's no denying it. No, for sure, and that's true.
And when are we going to clear that beef up?
There's a situation. Honestly, it's really like she started it, and it's time for her to finish it.
Did she start it? What happened?
This is what happened. It's
about backing dancers, right?
Yeah, it's about backing dancers.
I love that
it's so crazy. Okay, so there's like 3 backing dancers that went on tour with her tour, right?
Yeah.
And they asked me before they went on tour,
yeah,
if they could go, and I was like, yeah, of course. I'm not on a record cycle and get the work, and she's great and all
absolutely.
that. But I will be on a record cycle probably in about a year.
Mm-hmm.
So be sure to put a 30-day contingency in your contract.
Right.
So you can get out if you want to join me when I say I'm going back on.
Sure.
So that year came up, right?
Yeah.
And I texted all of them because I'm very close with them, and I said, look, just FYI, I'm about to start. I want to put the word out there. And they said, okay, well, we're going to go and talk to management about it. And they did, and they got fired. And I tried to talk to her about it, and she wouldn't speak to me.
Oh, you tried to talk to her about it? You did the phone call?
I do the right thing.
So you did the phone call, and it was a shutdown.
It feels like a fumble. It was a full shutdown, and then she writes a song about me, and I'm like, okay, cool. That's how you want to deal with it? Karma.
But
go on. What I want to say is that, like, I'm ready for that BS to be done. Now, there is the law of cause and effect. you do something and there's gonna be a reaction. And trust me, Daddy, there's gonna be a reaction.
Okay, I find it weird when you call me Daddy, but go on.
No, I mean, it's all about karma, right?
But I think, right, I think what you're saying now is we can draw a line on this beef. Can we draw a line on the beef?
Do you know that?
Can we take the beef off the grill? I
think personally that women together, not divided, and like none of this petty.
Say it, sister.
Women together
say it.
will heal the world.
Say it. She said it. So would it be enough to just receive a text from Taylor Swift that just said, the beef is off the grill? If you receive that text, will you then remove the beef from the grill and then we're all just grilling other foods?
Absolutely.
That's it, okay,
100%.
Great. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
All right, you do that. Let's go. Are you ready for it? Let's go. A perfect storm, perfect storm. So what's your mind, what's your mind? Ready?
Oh,
body roll.
There's no going back.
Body roll, body roll. Oh, other side. Steak face, steak face. I'm sweating. I'm already sweating. I'm already sweating. Can we turn on the AC?
It is so hot.
So you wanna play?
Boy, you should know who you're for.
You should know.
If you dare to do that.
So there you go. That's it for Let's Talk Entertainment Fridays edition. But I can't do without just saying a very big thank you to the 247 Boutique located at North Kaneshi for all your beautiful clothing. Talk of kids, men, and of course ladies. You can always walk in here and get beautiful stuff for yourself. They're from Zara. Yes, that's what they do. So yeah, thank you. You can see my dress. I love it. And of course, let me say a very big thank you to Ike and Becky for production. But for more of our trending entertainment stories, you can always log on to myjoyonline.com, the entertainment page. I am Doreen, and of course, you can interact with me on Twitter at Doreen Avi, and on Instagram, it's Doreen_Avi. Do enjoy your evening, and of course, enjoy your weekend as well.